Paranormal investigators taking Farron on a little adventure this week.
Yeah, I've been hanging out with them for the last couple Fridays, and this week we hit up a cemetery in Mishawaka. Let's just say I'm still a little creeped out. Check it out. We are here at Fairview Cemetery. It's about dusk, and we are going to be searching for ghosts tonight. And we are with, again, every Friday, Michiana Paranormal Investigation. So, Jeff, what are we going to be looking for tonight?
Tonight we're going to be looking for EVPs. We're going to make a few laps around the cemetery, see if we can catch anything. We'll stop in a few spots, ask some questions, and see if we get a response back to them. We'll do a real-time session, so we'll put the recorder down, ask some questions, and then re-listen to the recorder, see if we caught anything on the spot. And then we have our night vision camera with us. We're going to check out a few corners of the cemetery and see if we come up with anything.
So now, besides, what are some of the ghost stories besides college kids running through here at night that we know of?
To our knowledge, in this part of the cemetery, there's not really much legend behind it, but there are some really old markings around, so that's something to keep in mind tonight.
Cool. Well, let's go ask them some questions. So we set off and stopped at one pretty cool grave we found. We are at the grave of Willard Aldrich, who lived here, and it says on his bio, kind of right outside of his tombstone, that he was pretty eccentric, and that he actually, when he was diagnosed with tuberculosis, he knew he didn't have long to live, so he asked the undertaker to build him a coffin in which he could sit up, and he had playing cards, whiskey, and a shotgun in his coffin with him for when Satan came calling. So, sounds like a really homegrown Indiana guy, right?
Absolutely.
So we're gonna do a couple EVPs, and what else?
We'll get the night vision camera out and see if we pick up anything around the tomb here.
Cool. Let's talk to Willard. Yeah, and I'm not going to lie. Stay tuned at 7:45 because we did get a little sound from a ghost.
Oh, now I'm going to get creeped out.
Yeah.
Here. All right. Thanks, Farron. Well, every Friday here on the FOX28 Morning Show, Farron and Michiana Paranormal Investigations, they set out to investigate haunted locations around town. Every week, they bring us along.
Yeah, so this week we went to Fairview Cemetery, and our first stop was the grave of Willard Aldrich. Now, he apparently was buried sitting up with playing cards, whiskey, and a shotgun for when the devil came calling. Take a look.
It's the team. We're at the marker of Willard in the city cemetery, EVP session. Willard, we were reading your plaque on top of your marker here. You have a very interesting story. Is there anything you'd like to tell us about it?
This is a K2 meter, and paranormal investigators say when doing EVP sessions or electronic voice phenomena, it lights up, and chances are you've captured a voice.
Well, if there's anything else you want to say, now's the time to do it. We're going to be heading out here in a second. All right, well, appreciate your time.
We listened to the recording in real time to see if he had anything to say. Yeah, Willard didn't want to talk.
We'll head back to the other side.
So we decided to head over to a couple mausoleums where Jeff and I started asking questions.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us?
Yes.
All you need to do, right on top of the green light, is a little recorder. If you go close to it and say something, when we play back the recorder, we'll be able to pick up your... Do you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
There's a noise in the bushes behind us.
I don't know. I'll go check it out.
So I asked a question. What is your name? So as you saw, we were talking to what we think probably might have been spirits or ghosts. So Jeff, tell me a little bit, is this very common for the questions we were asking to have responses like that?
In an environment like this, yes. What we're looking for is asking a question and trying to get a direct answer. And a direct answer is anything lighting up on the meter here. That lets us know that there's something, that the environment has changed and there's possibly paranormal activity present.
And Liz, what are the best kind of questions to ask? Because you asked some really good ones.
Well, if they know that they passed, if there's a message that they would like to get out to a family member, did they live in Mishawaka in the area? Questions like that. Be easier for them to answer questions like that.
Well, we're going to have to go review this information and find out if we heard anything. We got two names that responded back to us. Let's see if you can hear what they have to say. What is your name? What is your name? What is your name? Now Now, these were not heard at the time of the recording, but Jeff's recorder, along with our cameras, picked up this paranormal sound. Up next, we head over to Bargain Hunters. Stay tuned. Now, I have to tell you that when I heard that this morning when I was editing this, I about froze.
Because you lost sleep, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the night before, I couldn't fall asleep till like 2 o'clock in the morning because I thought those ghosts followed me home, you know? So, yeah.
I'm sure Ellen and Paul are very friendly. Very, very friendly. I hope they are.
Hopefully, yeah. Well, coming up, we'll take you to Bargain Hunters in Mishawaka, where legend has it, it was the old stomping ground of the famous Chicago gangster Al Capone.
All right, Farron. Michiana Paranormal investigators, they had you tag along with them this week, and you guys went out to a cemetery.
Yes, and now we take you to Bargain Hunters in Mishawaka, where we investigated reports of 4 ghosts living there. Now, here's the interview I had with the owner on her experiences.
There is Sarah, she's upstairs. I'm not sure how old she is. She's in her 30s. Abby, she's a little girl. She's 8 years old. Ian is a mid-20s black male. He's upstairs as well. Gabe is downstairs. We know this because we've used a ghost box, and he talked to us through the ghost box. That's how we know. Little things here and there have happened. I had a ADT installer. He had to come and fix a sensor on the door downstairs. While he was down there, me and my employee were sitting here behind the counter, and it sounded like a bowling ball hit the floor right about where we're standing, and we looked, there's nothing here. Over in the middle aisle, like 3 things hit the floor really hard. We walked over there and looked, there was nothing on the floor. Just a little while later, I'm standing over by another showcase helping a customer, and the chain that's up by my counter, it slammed and hit the glass. There's nobody standing there, and we looked, and that chain is just a swinging. And one day, my employee, she was upstairs. She was putting something away, whatever she was doing up there, and a BB hit her in the side of the head. My husband, he was downstairs in the creepy room, and he was showing a friend of his a creepy room, and when he tapped his foot on the floor of the basement, he said a big black mist just swooshed around the room and took the light out. Yeah. And he came upstairs, and he hasn't been back down there since.
Legend has it this was the old stomping grounds of a famous Chicago gangster, Al Capone.
Supposedly it's said that when there was a restaurant that was downstairs here in the barn, a little diner, Al Capone and his buddies would meet up here. There was supposed to be an underground tunnel that went from here to the house across the street. They'd come here, they'd meet up, they'd eat, they'd go across the street and do underground gambling. So he had a lot to do with this place, you know, is what has been told to us.
Okay, so we are in the upstairs part of the barn. And after hearing all of the wonderful stories about this place, I'm totally creeped out. I'm not going to lie. I've had them keep the lights on. But we've already seen a little bit of the K2 meter going off. But talk to us. We're going to try to talk to Sarah.
Right. What we're going to do is we're going to try an EVP session here. So we're going to put the recorder down here, ask some questions, and see if we can make contact.
And this is that doll that's on the chair that's constantly moving. So we'll see if Sarah has anything to say, and we'll see if I can stay up here. Okay.
Okay. Is there another toy that you would like? No? You like your doll? Are you the one that moves the doll around in the chair? Do you pick her up and put her back down and then go play and then come back and hold her in that chair?
We then heard a noise and went over to investigate a part of the barn where the owner said Ian resides.
Whoever lit up this box right here, could you do it again for us? Thank you.
You can see with the lights on the K2 meter flickering, there's some kind of change in the atmosphere. Up next, we head to the basement to meet the ghost that lives there, named Gabe.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting the heebie-jeebies, and I'm not even there.
I know. How creepy is that doll? Oh, it was so creepy. So creepy. And just wait till we go to the basement, where reportedly someone's buried in the basement, which was the creepiest part of my entire night. So get ready for that one.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, we told you some of the ghost stories surrounding bargain hunters in Mishawaka, like Al Capone and his gang kind of hanging out there and doing some underground gambling.
Yeah, well, now we're going to take you down to the basement where reports of a ghost named Gabe resides, and I totally get freaked out. Check it out.
So then we go downstairs, and we have the voice box, and we go into the creepy room, and we're trying to get somebody to talk to us down there. Nothing would happen, nothing. So I said, okay, well, if you're not going to talk to us, we're going to have to leave. And it said, wait. And I said, okay, what are we waiting for? And nothing, nothing, nothing. I said, well, if you're not going to talk to us, you know, or tell us what we're waiting for, who am I talking to? And he said, Gabe. I said, okay, Gabe, you know, what am I waiting for? We kept trying to get him talk, kept trying to get him talking. He wouldn't talk no more. But that's all we could get out of him.
So we are in the creepy landlord room where apparently someone supposedly is buried underneath the cement. But you guys were just up in the upper level, and did you guys find anything up there? Because I had to leave literally halfway through. I wasn't doing it.
We had the K2 meters out, and in the middle of the room we had it spike a few times, and at one point it went all the way to red for a good few seconds, then completely went off again. We checked the area, couldn't come up with any solution of why it was doing that. No area surrounding it was going off at all, and the area that we found it wasn't doing it. And actually the meter's going off right now.
Awesome. Can't wait to get this started.
My photographer, Gary Pikula, well, he wasn't scared at all, and he was getting a kick out of me being completely freaked out. So we go dark to talk to Gabe.
Gabe, if you're down here with us, can you light it all the way to the red? Keep going, just a little bit more. Do you want us to leave?
Now, if you remember, the owner's husband says it was this room where he saw a big black cloud. And this is where things started to get really, really creepy.
Did you make that big black creepy stuff come across the
No.
Oh.
Okay, shut them down all the way down to the first screen, both of them.
He is not happy, and I feel it.
And this is the part where me and the owner's husband felt completely creeped out and took off for the upstairs. But my photographer, Gary, says the EVP session kept going, where they asked Gabe about who he liked and who he didn't like. They asked if he liked me, and no lights lit up. But every time they said the owner's name, Leroy, the lights would go all the way to red.
So midway through, right when the owner said that Gabe was not happy and she was getting really uneasy, I actually was getting uneasy myself. So me and the other owner took off, ran upstairs, and I did some shopping, and I found my next purchase. I'm definitely getting this guitar. So I got something good out of tonight. But yeah, so definitely something really cool. Try a paranormal investigation at least once in your life, and this was my one time. Yeah, not gonna lie, super, super creepy, because it was like, in the beginning they don't talk, and then you can just see the lights going, and you're just like, they're here somewhere, but you can't.
I'd probably get a little wigged out too.
Oh yeah,
it's a little bit scary for hanging in there.
I booked it to the upstairs. I'm not gonna lie. But coming up next Friday for our last segment and for our Halloween special, we're gonna be at the Birdsall Mansion in South Bend, so you're gonna want to stick around for that one next Friday.